Listen to this video. It's about 50 seconds long, so bear with this guy.
About 90 to 95% of the black church in America is objectively, by the standards of Scripture, heretical. It doesn't even constitute a true church. They're teaching things that are absolutely in direct opposition to the Christian faith. If you listen to the message and you believe what they're saying, you will go to hell. I love black people. I want them to know Christ. And currently, there are not enough black men in America, Christian men, who know enough theology to be able to be qualified to pastor black churches. The black church in America needs to be split up. It needs to go and find a good, God-fearing white church with biblically qualified men so that they can hear the real gospel of Jesus Christ and come to saving faith in him.
So Joel claimed that 90 to 95% of the black church is heretical. That's not a theological claim. That's not a statement of discernment on his part. And that's a made-up statistic. For those of you who are close to this guy, please ask him to cite the reference for that data set that he's using. I'd love to hear it because I know there's no data set. There's no peer-reviewed study, no denominational audit, no theological census that supports a 90 to 95% figure. That number didn't come from research. It came from his own IQ. I'm not going to get on the whole IQ thing because it's a pseudoscience, but I just wanted to put that there. So from someone who is a mathematician, when someone makes a numerical claim without data, they are not a teacher. You're not a teacher. You're pretending to be one. So for a moment, let's talk about standards. Let's talk about doctrine and moral failure and whether or not those things should disqualify entire racial churches. And then consistency demands we apply the same logic everywhere, right? Let's name names since he chose to implicitly. John MacArthur, who publicly defended abusive leadership structures and mishandled church discipline involving sexual abuse. Mark Driscoll built a ministry on authoritative control, plagiarism, spiritual abuse, and even collapsed in a public scandal. Matt Chandler stepped aside for an inappropriate online relationship. And even Steve Lawson removed from pastoral leadership over an inappropriate relationship. Now, here's the question. By Joel's logic, should white churches be dismantled? Should their members be told they're in a false Christian church? And should they be sent to black leaders to learn the real gospel? Or is judgment only racial when it goes one direction? So you don't get to say that you love black people while declaring that ubiquitously black churches are illegitimate, their pastors are unqualified, and they're theologically damnable. Then prescribe white churches under white men as a solution? Goofy. So the good news does not require cultural replacement. Jesus did not die to make black believers European. Jesus himself wasn't European. None of the writers in the Bible were white nor European. So what are you even talking about? Lastly, this isn't about truth versus error. It's about who gets authority and who gets grace and who gets labeled expendable. And scripture already warned us about goofies like him. Shalom.